Okay, this lesson is called Investigating Careers. To understand your possibilities and work in the working world, start by looking at yourself. The more you know about your interests and skills, the easier it'll be to pick your career path. Okay, and we said that career paths are like I'm standing um, at the side of a hill and I'm trying to figure out which path I want to go down. So, investigating each one of these, and there are 16 that we use in this school, and we need to decide which one to go down. And these are actually known around this different states too, because it's easier. If you've got to look for thousands and thousands of jobs and you've got to pick one of them, you've got to try to figure out what you're going to do. Okay, see if I can get this a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. Your interests and skills, pretty important thing. We started that in class and we were talking about our interests and our skills. So I want you to write this down. Interests are the things you like to do. Interests are the things that you like to do. Like I like to paint and I like to draw and do different things like that, kind of like a hobby. And then I want you to write down skills are the things that come easy to you. Skills are the things that come easy to you. So talking about art again, it's not very easy for me to do art. I like to do it, I'm interested in it, but I am not skilled at it. Okay, they're easy because you have a natural talent or have practiced them enough. Over time, people tend to like most activities that they do well. Remember, however, that skills and interests are two very different things. A person may be interested in an occupation, but not be willing to invest the time and effort to develop the skills needed to succeed at it. So I might say, well, I want to be a lawyer. And then I figure out how long it takes to go through law school, and I might just not be interested in developing the skills for that and going to college for that long. Okay, so somebody might be interested in that job, but they might not be willing to invest the time and the effort into it. Okay, another person may have natural talent, but not be interested in using these skills for paid work. Okay, I want you to think about these next two questions that are right here and kind of compare your answers in your head. So what activities do you enjoy the most is the first question. The next question, what activities do you think you would enjoy doing more than 2,000 hours each year? And I think if you figure out 40 hours a week times 52 weeks, I think it comes out to be 2,008 hours. So that's quite a long time. If your answers to each question are different, don't be surprised. So I might like to do activities. For example, I like to golf, but doing that 2,000 hours each year, I'm not interested in doing that activity. Even though I enjoy golfing, I wouldn't be interested in doing that for that long. So I would not pick that for a future job for myself. Some activities appear very interesting, but lose their attraction when you have to do them constantly. And that's like over and over and over, day after day after day. Okay, here's a perfect example of a scenario about trying to pick out a job. So it says here, Sarah, for example, liked camping at her uncle's ranch, yet she has no desire to work outside the whole year in the snow, rain, or heat. She decided that camping was a hobby to enjoy as a change of pace from her office job as an accountant. So see how she likes camping, she enjoys camping, but she would not do that for a future career, like run her uncle's ranch. Okay, the next vocabulary word, and you should have this written down already. If not, make sure you get that in your notes. Aptitude. An aptitude is a natural tendency that makes it easy for you to perform certain types of tasks. Aptitudes are one type of skill. Students may possess different aptitude levels in school subjects, such as math. Maybe they're like super good at math. It comes naturally for them. They're so good at it. They never, ever make mistakes. That was not me in school. Okay, they might be have an aptitude for athletics. Okay, this is this one right here, athletics. So they might be really good in one sport or maybe all sports. They may have a mechanical ability. I went to school with a student who could fix anything mechanical, lawnmowers, washers, refrigerators, like anything that had to do with mechanical. He could fix it and get it running again. Okay, public speaking. Someone might be very talented in public speaking. It comes very naturally to them. They have an aptitude for public speaking. Leadership. Leadership is another one. And the ability to understand the feelings of others. So if you have an aptitude for understanding the feelings of others, you may want to look into a career as like a therapist, like a family therapist, a child therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, even a school counselor or a regular counselor. You can become aware of your aptitudes through school activities and career aptitude tests. And they offer free career aptitude tests on the internet if you search for them. And they will, after you get finished with the test, they will put you into a category and suggest what you might be interested for a future career. Okay, going back to Sarah that we were talking about, that she was at her uncle's ranch, that she decided that was just a hobby. It says here, Sarah chose accounting as a career goal for several reasons. She had an aptitude for mathematics and an excellent memory for details. Okay, the next section talks about exploring career pathways. There are many ways to explore career paths. The best way to learn about jobs is to actually try them out. First-hand experience, such as field trips, internships, and employment, are some ways to discover what you like. Field trips are visits to job locations that let students see a sample of what a certain job involves. And I want you to write down this next word, and it's internships. Internships provide opportunities to actually do work, generally without pay. You can also gain first-hand experience through paid employment. A student shows up to work on a regular basis, and an employer has specific expectations. So they actually get paid while they work. A lot of people don't get paid though. So write down internships. That was on the last page right here. Internships provide opportunities to actually do work, generally without pay. So write that down. Pretty sure that's on your test. Although an intern may have a broader range of experiences, student employees know they're doing real work because they're being paid. Students also benefit from developing special relationships with people who are experts in their jobs. Mentors are successful workers who share their expert knowledge and demonstrate correct work behaviors. And you should have that written down in your notes under your vocabulary words. And if you don't, please write that down right now. Pause the video. You can learn a lot by working closely with a mentor. So if I start working at a pizza restaurant and there are people who are supposed to mentor me, teach me, and I get a mentor that maybe hands out free pizza, who drinks a whole bunch of pop in the corner while they're sitting on their phone, chit-chatting with their friend and taking all kinds of selfie pictures, and then they don't want to answer the phone when orders come in because they just don't feel like it, and then they start talking and making fun of the customers. Would you want a mentor like that? I would hope not. So try to find a mentor, someone that is a very successful worker, someone who knows what you're supposed to be doing, and that, someone who has a good work ethic. That's who you want to be your mentor. And sometimes you don't have a choice. Like an employer will just have you work with someone or have someone train you. Okay, the next section talks about career clusters that we've been talking about, the 16 career clusters or pathways. It's impossible to learn about all career opportunities through first-hand experiences. To save time and energy, you may want to explore careers by looking at groups of occupations. A career cluster is a large grouping of occupations that have certain things in common. So like everyone, like I'm in education, so I'm in that career cluster, and everyone in that career cluster, they're going to be like teachers' aides, preschool teachers, elementary, middle school, high school teachers. We're all in education and training. So they put all of us in that group together. The clusters are usually formed around the types of services and products provided. So everyone that works in the medical field, they will be in the same career cluster because they all work in the same type of services and products that are provided. Many states have identified career clusters to encourage career decision making and to help you choose appropriate study areas. And I currently use the one from the Minnesota State website with the career clusters on there because they have a lot of information about careers and they have the 16 career clusters. Okay, the next section here talks about job shadowing. And maybe you've heard of this word, maybe you haven't, but it says here, did you ever wonder how much you could learn by following a person around at work? Personal one-on-one field trips are called job shadowing. And I'd like you to write that down. Job shadowing is personal one-on-one field trips. So this is what it means. The person you are observing follows a regular workday, so just like they started at work, while you stay nearby and quiet like a shadow. So you're like watching them, shadowing them, seeing what their work duties are, what their expectations are for the day at that job. And it's a perfect way to figure out, is this what you're going to do in the future? So if you're a high school student, I strongly encourage you to do that in your future before you start college or before you start working at a place to try to figure out if that's actually what you want to do. For example, if I was going to work, say I wanted to work as a vet technician. So I go to the clinic, the veterinarian clinic in my town, and I say, can I job shadow? Can I follow a person around, shadow a person around for the day to see if this is what I would like? So I get there and I start job shadowing the person and I start sneezing and my eyes start watering. Well, I'm allergic to animals. So I would find out right there. Well, actually, I should know this before I go there, but this is just an example I'm giving you. I can't work at a place like that because it would bother my allergies because I'm allergic to animals. So I would know right then and there that that would not be the job for me. So if you ever job shadow someone, please make sure you're respectful when you go. It says here in the rest of the unit that you should get the permission of the person first before you shadow them. You may need permission from school for that, from your parents. Somewhere in here it talks about parents and possibly a counselor, a school guidance counselor, or even a teacher. Many businesses, and this is something to check into, many businesses allow parents to bring their children to work on a special day each year so young people can explore careers. So ask your parents. Okay, so we talked about career clusters. There are 16 career clusters. And the important thing is the clusters are usually formed around the types of services and products that are given. That's how they divide these up. Mentors are people who are successful workers who share their work experience with you and they demonstrate the correct work behavior. So find one that's going to be a positive mentor. We talked about internships, provide opportunities to actually work, generally without pay, but you're learning, you're gaining knowledge. We talked about aptitude, things that are natural tendencies for people. They're really good at things that lead into careers. And then backing up into interests are things that you like to do, and skills are things that come to you very easily. Okay, so that is about investigating careers, and that's the end of this lesson.